Open Secrets wants appointments to the Financial Services Conduct Authority to be stopped until a more transparent process is designed. The advocacy group filed an urgent court application that was heard this in the North Gauteng High Court just yesterday. Now, Open Secrets' Michael Marchant joins us now to discuss this matter even further. Good morning to you, Michael. Thank you for your time. What's the latest with regards to this particular case? I know that as an advocacy group advocating for more transparency, you're not happy with the lack of transparency thereof in the appointment of these senior officials.
Hey, good morning. So the matter was heard yesterday in the High Court, and judgment has been reserved. So we are waiting until Monday to find out the final outcome and whether we've been successful in getting the interdict, which would be simply to stop the appointments process as it's currently happening until the Minister of Finance has provided for more openness and transparency in that process, and so that the media and the public can get a look into the interviews, how those are going, and to really see the candidates being asked those questions in the interview process.
Well, it seems that this wasn't... Yes. Continue, Michael.
This process has been ongoing for a while now, so the appointments are long overdue. The regulator, the FSCA, has been in existence since April 2018. It's a dedicated regulator that's supposed to protect all of us, or the public, from financial institutions and to make sure that we're treated fairly. And so we think it's an incredibly important public-facing regulator that it must have the public's trust. And that's why for many years we've been trying to engage the minister to open up the process so that we can see how that process unfolds.
Right. And I mean, when we talk about the process and these appointments, we're talking here about the appointment of a new commissioner and deputy commissioner of the Financial Services Conduct Authority, also known as the FSCA. However, I understand that, as you've mentioned, before you got to this particular route of taking them to court, you had been sending letters to the minister, but all you've been met with was only acknowledgement of receipt, but nothing else beyond that.
That's absolutely correct. And I think it is an important principle for any organization is that, not to rush to court, that going to court is an expensive and difficult process, and it's not one that we wanted to do immediately. And so it's, in fact, since early 2019, Open Secrets and our co-applicants, the Unpaid Benefits Campaign, have been writing to the minister to say, how can we open up the process to ensure that there's trust from all sides about how that process is unfolding? And in particular, because, as you've said, this is the appointments of the people who will lead the institution, for the commissioner and the deputy commissioners. And so it's particularly important that those people are people of integrity, that they're fit for that office, and that they have the public trust, and that they are willing to really actively and energetically enforce the regulations against the financial sector.
Yeah.
And the point that we've made to the court is that these positions and these appointments should follow the same principles that have recently been adopted in many appointments processes of important public positions. We think about the most recent interview process for the Director of Public Prosecutions, for example,
right,
which, after a court application from civil society, the Right to Know campaign, the President conceded that needed to be public for precisely these reasons, these constitutional imperatives of openness and transparency.
Right, Michael, before I let you go, then briefly, just for clarity's sake, what happens next? You're still awaiting that final judgment from court.
Yeah, so we wait a final judgment on Monday, and we're positive that yesterday went very well. And if that judgment does go in our and the UBC's favor, that would momentarily halt the process and direct the minister to put provisions in place for public participation in the interview process, and that process is then opened up for all of us to watch.
All right, Michael, from Open Secrets, thank you so much for your time.